worst mistakes Israel is making, by the way, the United States also, is cutting itself off from the international community. One can't move forward in the way that's been suggested without the international community, both for publicity, I mean, quite in practical terms, for publicity, for organization, and in a certain way also for spiritual guidance or ideological guidance. If we want to build a cosmopolitan sensibility, we have to know about other groups and other religions.
So Dr. Laitman, is this something that the whole world is waking up to do? Everyone can roll their sleeves and start uniting. I know you speak specifically about the role of Jews as catalysts because we've had that memory of unity from before. So should the Jews do something? Should the whole world wake up? Is there a first and a second? What's the relationship here?
Well, in truth, I see the Jews as those that have to awaken first in order to be a model for their method of unity. And in not doing so, they let a lot of troubles happen. And the Jewish people need to understand that. But how? So first of all, we address everyone, the world, the public, all nations. And there should be an expression of that expectation from the Jews. And so then the Jews, as a response, they'll begin to look for and extract their method for human connection and then start displaying it to the world. That is a dynamic that I see that needs to happen, and this way it might happen. Because look, this method exists, it is open to all, but no one wants to approach it, no one wants to access it, no one's working on it. That's the problem. And that's why, as Kabbalists, which are just a few thousand people around the world, that's it, we recognize this method and that it needs to be utilized, but we don't have sufficient power, resources, exposure for how to spread it and have everyone use it. And also, generally speaking, the human ego drives all people, and so they don't have an inclination to use it, because it's about unity, and people don't have a natural inclination towards this kind of connection and unity above the ego. I meet a lot of people in the world, and from different factions. And take Sufis, for example, Sufism. They are sort of Kabbalists of Islam. They're talking about the same thing. Or Tibetans. There are people who understand this, but who's listening to them? They are typically pushed aside. And so Kabbalists essentially are holding a means by which to make the world better, healthier, peaceful, but no one wants to listen to it. And everyone is drawn to the rat race and to the competition and to conflicts and how to keep strengthening that force. And that's the state we're in.